Have you ever wondered how we standardized time and location measurements? The story begins in the 17th century, with local meridians causing inconsistency and navigation challenges. Before the idea of standardization was introduced, different locations around the world used their own local meridians to determine local time. This led to a lack of consistency and posed significant challenges for navigation. Imagine trying to navigate the world when every location had its own version of time and space. It was a global puzzle that needed solving. In the midst of this chaos emerged a solution from an unlikely source. In 1675, English royal astronomer Sir Jonas Flamsteed proposed an idea that would change the course of history. He suggested using the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, England as the baseline for time measurement, establishing a standard meridian. This proposition was a game-changer. It meant a shift from a world of many meridians to a world with a single, universally accepted meridian. Flamsteed's proposal was revolutionary, but it was not without its challenges. It required the acceptance and adoption by the world, a task easier said than done. However, the potential benefits of such a system were undeniable. A standard meridian would not only streamline navigation, but also simplify international communication, trade, and travel. The idea of using the Royal Observatory in Greenwich as the standard meridian was not chosen randomly. The location had a rich history of astronomical research and was home to some of the most advanced astronomical instruments of the time. It was the perfect place to anchor the world's time and space. As the world started to recognize the need for a unified system of time and location, Flamsteed's proposal began to gain traction. The idea of a world connected by a single meridian was no longer a distant dream, but a real possibility. Thus, the stage was set for the establishment of the Royal Observatory and the creation of a standard meridian. The journey was just beginning, and the Greenwich Meridian was ready to etch its mark on the annals of history. In the heart of Greenwich, near London, the Royal Observatory was born, a project involving some of the greatest minds of the time, including Sir Christopher Wren and Edmund Halley. This was no ordinary undertaking, for it was designed to resolve one of the greatest challenges of the era, the determination of longitude at sea, a puzzle that had vexed seafarers for centuries. The year was 1675, and the man behind the idea was Sir Jonas Flamsteed, the first English royal astronomer. He proposed using the Royal Observatory in Greenwich as the baseline for measuring time, a concept that would revolutionize the way we perceive the world. And so, the foundation was laid for a standard meridian, a line of longitude at which time is defined to be 0 hours. Fast forward to 1714, and the British Parliament passed the Longitude Act. This monumental act was more than a piece of legislation. It was an open invitation to the world's brightest minds to devise precise methods for determining longitude at sea. The Royal Observatory was at the center of it all, becoming a hub of astronomical innovation and scientific discovery. Under the guidance of Flamsteed and his successors, the observatory became a crucible of creativity and ingenuity. They worked tirelessly to improve astronomical instruments, refining their accuracy and broadening their capabilities. They meticulously compiled ephemeris tables, predicting the positions of celestial bodies with unprecedented precision. Their work was instrumental in navigating the uncharted waters of the world's oceans, guiding explorers on their voyages of discovery. The Royal Observatory was more than a building. It was a beacon of scientific advancement, a symbol of the quest for knowledge and understanding. It was here, under its iconic domed roof, that the world's time would be set. The observatory soon became the backbone of time and location standardization, leading to the necessity of an international agreement. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's marvel at the ingenuity and foresight of those who helped shape our understanding of time and space, right here at the Royal Observatory at Greenwich. The year 1884 marked a turning point in history when delegates from 25 nations gathered at the International Meridian Conference in Washington, D.C. The world was becoming more interconnected, and with this came the need for a global standard meridian, a universal reference line from which all other longitudes would be determined. This would eradicate the inconsistencies and navigational challenges caused by the use of local meridians. With the rise of international travel and communication, the need for a single, universally accepted meridian became increasingly evident. This was the impetus behind the International Meridian Conference, a meeting that brought together representatives from different corners of the world, each with their unique perspectives on the issue at hand. The conference was a whirlwind of discussions and debates, with the delegates weighing the pros and cons of various proposals. But amidst this flurry of activity, one proposal stood out: the idea of adopting the Greenwich Meridian as the prime meridian. This proposal was not just about a line on a map. It was about establishing a global standard that would bring an unprecedented level of order and consistency to the realms of geography, navigation, and timekeeping. It was a decision not made lightly. The Greenwich Meridian's adoption was based on its practicality. It passed through the well-established Royal Observatory in Greenwich, which had been contributing to the field of astronomy and navigation for over a century. The delegates understood that the Greenwich Meridian had the credibility and the infrastructure to serve as the world's prime meridian. After much deliberation, the proposal was accepted. The Greenwich Meridian was officially crowned as the prime meridian, and the system of longitude and latitude was standardized on a global scale. This marked the dawn of a new era in our understanding and measurement of time and space. The conference concluded with a significant decision that would forever change how we perceive time and space. From that point onward, the Greenwich Meridian would serve as the starting point for our journeys, both literal and metaphorical, guiding us through the vast expanse of our planet. The Greenwich Meridian didn't just remain a concept, but saw broad international support and adoption. Indeed, the concept of a standard meridian originating in the 17th century didn't gain significant momentum until the latter part of the 19th century. It was during this period that the world saw a surge in international travel and communication. As nations started to understand the benefits of a standardized system of time and location, they began to rally behind the idea. The International Meridian Conference of 1884 had set the stage, and the world was ready to embrace this new concept. One by one, countries started acknowledging the Greenwich Meridian as their primary reference for geographic coordinates and time. This wasn't just a matter of convenience, but a significant step towards global unity. The adoption of the Greenwich Meridian symbolized the world's willingness to come together, to operate on a shared understanding of time and space. By the end of the 19th century, the Greenwich Meridian had been formally adopted by many countries. This included not just the powerful nations of Europe, but also those from other parts of the world. The global consensus was clear. The Greenwich Meridian was no longer just an English concept, but a global standard. Despite the differences in culture, language, and geography, nations found common ground in the Greenwich Meridian. It was a testament to human ingenuity and the collective desire to navigate our world with precision and consistency. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, the Greenwich Meridian had already sealed its place in history. It had moved beyond the confines of the Royal Observatory and spread its influence across the globe. It had become more than just a line on a map. It was now a symbol of global cooperation and unity. The transition to a standard meridian wasn't always smooth, and there were certainly hurdles along the way. Yet the world persevered, driven by the vision of a unified system of time and location. By the dawn of the 20th century, the Greenwich Meridian had solidified its position as a global reference. And it continues to hold that position to this day, underpinning our understanding of time and space in an ever-connected world. The Greenwich Meridian is more than just a line on a map. It became the starting point for counting longitudes, influencing navigation, aviation, and geography. As the principal meridian, the Greenwich Meridian's impact is far-reaching. It's not just a point of reference for geographers, but it's also an essential tool for pilots and captains. Imagine sailing the vast oceans or flying through the boundless skies without a common reference point. It would be like trying to find your way in an endless maze without a compass. The Greenwich Meridian provided that compass, simplifying global navigation and making international travel more efficient and safer. This invisible line, stretching from the North Pole to the South Pole, has also had a profound influence on how we perceive and measure time. All time zones around the world are based on its location, with Greenwich Mean Time serving as the world's timekeeper. This has been crucial in synchronizing global activities, from international business transactions to the scheduling of global events. The significance of the Greenwich Meridian extends beyond the practical. It's a symbol of our shared history and collective efforts to understand and navigate our world. In recognition of its historical and cultural importance, the Royal Observatory at Greenwich was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997. This honor underscores the site's role in shaping our understanding of space and time. Despite advances in technology and the advent of GPS, the Greenwich Meridian retains its relevance in the modern world. It continues to serve as the prime meridian in global navigation systems, reminding us of our interconnectedness and shared place in the world. Indeed, the legacy of the Greenwich Meridian is not confined to the past. It's a living legacy that continues to shape our daily lives and our understanding of our place in the world. It stands as a testament to our quest for standardization, precision, and our perpetual drive to explore and understand the world around us. From its origins in the 17th century to its international adoption and lasting legacy, the Greenwich Meridian stands as a testament to our quest for standardization and precision.